Well, good morning. Welcome to my video. Yes, I'm in Santiago in front of the cathedral yet again, and I'm ready to start my second Camino. Look at the beautiful day. So, thanks for joining me at Anne's Space, and I hope you enjoy this, my second Camino for 2024. Well, here I am starting the Fisterra Camino, and this will take me out to the coast. It actually goes west from Santiago de Compostela. But again, just like when I left Porto, so frustrating, can't find any arrows. I'm relying on one of the apps that I'm using, the Wise app. It has the map. But you would think that they'd want you to feel good and know where you're going right from the beginning. But no, it seems like that's one of the challenges. Sorry, I'm starting this video with a rant. Oh well, it will only improve. So yay, finally an arrow. But funnily enough, this is not the way that the Wise map shows me to go. So, oh, a bit noisy, sorry. But there are some other pilgrims in front. So, fingers crossed, it all makes sense shortly. Yay, happy now. I've finally found a sign that tells me which way I'm going. I've been looking for the sign, and I'll flick you around and I'll show you I'm on the right way and which Camino I'm doing. So these are the signs I watch for. These are the arrows I look for. And this is where I'm going. I'm going to actually go to Muxia first, and then I'm going to go to Fisterra, or Fisterra, I think it's called. Oh yay, this is more like it. It's only taken me like probably 15 minutes walk from the cathedral, and already I'm out in a much more rural area. So Santiago de Compostela is not actually a huge city. I'm not sure of the population, but I mean, I walked in from the south side yesterday, and now I'm heading out the west. And yeah, it doesn't take long to get out of the city. Okay, been doing a bit of walking. Been walking with a lovely girl from San Francisco this morning, and hopefully we've found a coffee shop, because I haven't had my coffee yet, and it must be about 10 o'clock without checking. And yay, coffee shop. Woohoo! And like last time when I shared my photos and my videos of my Camino, I didn't take photos of who I walked with, nor the cafes. And this protected their privacy. Oh, I'm sure gonna miss these pretty little bridges and these little areas, little farmlets, little laneways. It's such a beautiful country to walk in. Look at that bridge. How cool. Oh. And there's a sheep somewhere. So there's been lots of ups since I had lunch / morning tea, and there's been lots of seats to stop at. So that's not something that I ever saw on the Portuguese Camino. So yeah, go back if you didn't watch that one. But yeah, it is a great idea to just stop and be able to sit. Not that I did, but those who know me that I just keep going up the hills and puff. So it's another pretty bridge, and now I'm walking with a really lovely girl from Taiwan, and that's Alison, and she's also just done the French Camino. Wow, this is stunning. So pretty. We can see that this down here has been flooding as well. Gosh. So I'm now in the town of, I think it's Negrera, something similar to that. I'll pop it in if I remember when I'm editing. And yeah, really interesting town. As you can hear, there's cobblestones on the roads. And I'm going to try and book into the Pilgrim Hostel tonight. So those hostels you can't book in advance, you just have to turn up and hope there's still a bed. This is my accommodation tonight. It's Auberge de Peregrinos, or in English, Hostel for Pilgrims. So that's pretty cool. It looks like quite a modern building. Should be quite nice. Woohoo! Well, start of another day on the Fisterra Camino, and look at that beautiful fog. Those people who left in the dark didn't see this. It's just wonderful. And I think it's going to be another great day out here. Look at that sky. It's stunning. Okay, better get going. Not too cold. That's nice. So I had no trouble checking into the Pilgrim Hostel. It was actually really good. And one of the other guys and I went back to the township and had a really lovely dinner together. So that was nice. But these are more photos of that beautiful foggy morning that I woke up to. And it was just perfect for walking. It wasn't too cold. And the scenery was just amazing. And watching the sun, couldn't have been better. And my legs grew. And this is why I get up and walk. Apart from the dogs. And quite a few people have waited till it's light to walk. I must have seen hundreds of churches like that one, but you just don't get tired of it. It's like those raised burial places that I see that I've taken numerous photos of, and the vineyards and the little cobble streets. It's just, yeah, each one is just slightly different. Oh, there's my shadow. That's pretty cool. Wow, it's hard to believe I'm in the same country. Look at this. I feel like I'm in Switzerland. Isn't it beautiful? Mm-hmm. Been walking about 2.5 hours. I caught up with a girl from Taiwan. We're walking together. So yeah, they've harvested the corn and a lot of it is manual. It's hard to believe that they get out there in the fields doing the actual work. Oh yeah, and the horses over in the background. And along comes Farmer Brown. Or Pedro maybe. Really in a farming community. I actually saw a big corporation farm. The first, because they've all just been mum and dad farms up until today. Yeah, there's another tractor coming. This one's loaded up and it's dusty. Very dusty. And this is the view, and we just came up the steepest track ever today. And we're still not even at the top. But man, this is just the most beautiful day for walking. So you see lots of really great things when you're walking in Spain, but this has to be the cutest. Look at her. Oh, how cute. Well, I see lots of murals as I walk and travel, and occasionally I see one under construction. This one's pretty cool. Auberge, that's what I like to see. So it's been a brilliant day. It's been just beautiful, beautiful weather all day. I've walked a lot of my day with a lovely girl from Taiwan called Alison, and I've walked just on 32 kilometers. So I reckon that is a damn good day. And here I am. So these, I'm going to call them cemetery boxes. I don't know what to call them, but they're fascinating, and there's big ones and small ones, and I don't know whether they still use them and just put coffins in, or quite what their story is. Unfortunately, my Spanish is non-existent, and I haven't been anywhere where there's been a Spanish person who I feel comfortable in asking about the history. So I'm definitely going to have to do some Googling to find out really what it's all about. But these old villages, sadly, I'm fairly much only seeing old people, elderly people in them. And I think all the young people, and I might have mentioned it already, that here in Spain, as in Portugal, they leave to go and find work elsewhere. So there is the farm work, but there's not actually a lot of, well, there is no other industry that I've seen actually on the whole pilgrim. And these are like a like we have in the crematorium, but I think the size of them, they're actually big enough for coffins. That's quite a few over there. That's 1964. Oh, you can't see very well, the sun's in the way. Just a few more photos from my brilliant day, and once again I stayed in the pilgrim hostel. Oh yeah, there's so many cute cats. And yeah, another photo of the cemetery, but this was actually the town I stayed in, Oliveira, and yes, I shouted myself to a beer. Wow, good morning. As you can see by the hair, it's just a bit breezy this morning. It's actually the coldest morning I've had. I've had to put on an extra jumper. I'm guessing, like yesterday, there will be some hills. So I'm just leaving Oliveira, and today I'm heading to Muxia. I was going to go to Fisterra first, but I found out that there's more buses from Fisterra, so I'll head slightly northwest, and then I will head south. So yep, destination today is Muxia, and it's just over 30 kilometers. So let's go. And as you can see, it's just getting light. Now I've just got to find my arrows. Well, I've just had my first coffee on the trail, and the Spanish lady convinced me that I needed a banana because it's 15 kilometers to the next stop, and it shouldn't be far now before I get to where the trail splits. So most people I've spoken to are going to Fisterra, and there was 3 people in the cafe. They're all going to Fisterra, but I'm going to Muxia. Straight ahead, apparently. Look at all those graffiti signs, posters, stickers. So here's the place where I make the decision. And yes, I'm going to Muxia. So I'll carry on down this road here. Hopefully there's not too much traffic. They're quite fast here, so you do have to be a bit careful. So I love these little tracks where there's mossy walls on either side, and then you just don't know where you're going to pop out. And it's so quiet this morning. That wind that I had first thing seems to have dropped. It's actually quite warm now. I took my extra jumper off, so it is forecast to rain, so I'm pretty sure it's going to rain. But that's okay. I've got all my wet weather gear, so it's not something that I haven't walked through before. So keep on walking on. I love it when I'm walking along and you see something just a little bit different. This is very cool. Someone's really thought outside the square. Oh, I like that. So nice. So people do the Caminos all different ways. So these ones have got a support van, which happens to be a sprinter van, like what I travel in Australia. And so they can stop for a snack from the van, or they can have their bags put into the van or take them out. So yeah, it's a really good choice, that's for sure. And you can see they're following me. Yeah, hiking with their poles. And yeah, I still felt no need to use my poles, which is really surprising, seeing as I use them every day when I did the coast to coast in England. So if you haven't seen that set of videos, just go back. It was in July, so if you look back quite a way from before I started traveling in Central Europe, you'll find my coast to coast in England hike. So that was really interesting. I was talking to one of the men from the group. His name's George, and he's from Spain, between Madrid and Barcelona. And he was telling me that this group, they all know each other, and they started off, there was 21, and now they're down to 18. And his English, we could communicate. Of course, I have no Spanish, so I was relying on him. But yeah, just wonderful to talk to somebody whose country this is, who is doing the walking. It's brilliant. Now, I certainly haven't seen much wildlife on this walk, although I did see a fox very briefly a few days ago. But this little mouse just ran across in front of me. Now, I don't like rodents, but he is awfully cute, and he hasn't moved, which means I can video him. See if he moves while I move. No, he's not going to move. He's just terrified. Very cute. Well, I was just walking along, listening to my book, watching where I was putting my feet because I don't want to skid down the hill. And I looked up and I'm at the ocean. It's a bit of a grey day, but it's still lovely to see the water. And it still hasn't rained, and I've got about another hour and a half walk. I've seen very few people apart from that one big group and then two men who are walking separately. I think they're about the same speed as me, but neither of them appear to speak English, so we've sort of just kept a nice comfortable distance from each other. And that's sometimes how it is when you're walking a Camino. I feel comfortable knowing there's someone else around, but I don't have to actually walk with them. So yeah, I'll carry on down to this town by the sea. Don't know what it's called. I might find out and pop it into the video. Well, it's been rather a long day today. I've sort of uphill, down dale, through roads, through villages, not through farmland. There's just been sort of mainly forestry. Finally, I think there's about 2.5 kilometres to go to Muxia, and hopefully there'll be some room in the pilgrim hostel again tonight. So yeah, I'll just make my way downhill. And it's not sunny, but I'll show you the ocean anyway. Oh, and there's a tall ship down there. That's pretty cool. I'll just turn you around. There we go, that's my view coming down the hill, and there's that tall ship. So it's a bit funny that I started this Camino. Well, no, not this Camino. I started my first Camino, my Portuguese Camino, on the coast with boardwalks. Now, I haven't finished the second Camino yet. There's still a little bit more to go. But I'm back on boardwalks. I'm back against the ocean. And I'm really glad that I decided to come to Muxia and then carry on to finish the Camino and do it and not going through Fisterra. So yeah, it's really quite a pretty little town, this Muxia, and it's going to be interesting to see where the pilgrim hostel actually is. So I've come down to the sea at Muxia. It just poured with the rain after I arrived in the hostel, thank goodness for that. And now it is absolutely freezing. I have all my jumpers on that I have with me. So fingers crossed that it's not like this tomorrow, because I do have some thermal long johns. I'll be having to wear them. As you can see, I've got my poncho on even though I don't have my pack on. But oh man, it is so cold, and this water Well, it looks quite beautiful, but it's a bit rough. So I'm going to go and try and find some food and then back to the hostel for the evening. Oh man, I'm so glad I am not out there walking. That was actually a good day. It's felt like a long day, and I think because much of it was by myself, but then the evening made up for it. I shared wine with other people. That was lovely. Oh, good morning. At the moment it's not raining and it's not too windy, and I'm leaving Muxia, and today is my last day for walking my second Camino, Santiago to Fisterra via Muxia. So yeah, the weather radar's not looking too good, nor is my face, but yeah, I'm going to go and do it. I'm walking out to the lighthouse and then I'm carrying on. So yeah, hopefully for me it's buen camino. And it actually is really pretty walking along here on the waterfront. Leaving at the perfect time, it's just getting light. And today first time on my Camino, I've brought on my waterproof trousers. Last night I wore my thermals to sleep in. So I think I can safely say now that I have used everything except my first aid kit in my pack. So fingers crossed, that's how it is by the time I get to Fisterra. That's a pretty nice coastline. There's a lighthouse out there on the point. And that flicking we can see, that's one of the wind turbines. And here you can see the lighthouses from both sides. And up here there's a church. What a beautiful place to have a church. And yeah, it's a real natural rocky outcrop. I don't know if someone's put a tent over there in the corner. So I don't know how many of these markers that I've passed. This one actually says 0. So if you were doing the Camino from Muxia via Fisterra back to Santiago, this would be your 0 point. But I'm actually just doing from Muxia to Fisterra today, which is about 28.8 kilometres. So a little shorter than the 30s I've been doing, or the 35s. So I think it'll probably feel much the same though. Right, let's go. Done my first kilometre, only 27.8 to go. So one of the things I love about when I'm walking in Spain or any other country is the fact that the locals will talk to me in their language, and I seriously have no idea what they're saying. So a gentleman just stopped and talked to me, and he was talking about these clouds out here, and he said that the rains are coming and it's going to be really bad, or something to that effect. So yeah, well, c'est la vie, right? So I've just passed that couple there. They're clearly walking with 2 dogs. So, and they look like they've done a lot of Camino. They had big packs. So yeah, interesting when people walk with their own dogs. I've heard about a lady who was walking with her dog. She came from another country. She had problems getting to where she started the Camino because the airlines wouldn't take her dog. Then some of the buses wouldn't take her dog, and she ended up having to get taxis. And then as she was doing the Camino, she couldn't get accommodation because places wouldn't take her dog, because it wasn't a service dog, it was just a rescue dog. So yeah, I don't think I'd do that. I've also heard but not met people walking with little babies, a 2.5-month-old and a 4-month-old. Again, I don't think I'd do that. But it's everyone's Camino. They do it differently, and they do it how they feel is right. So I do try not to judge. I just know what I would do and wouldn't do. So yeah, Please accept that I am not judging other people. I'm just making some comments. Another little bridge to cross. Another beautiful river. And yeah, I can't be too far away from lunchtime, I'm thinking. I just met up with the really nice German gentleman who, well, I suppose I could say I invited him out for dinner at Nigeria or something like that. Yeah, we got on really nicely. He told us all about his farm in Germany and his wife and his kids, and you know, he's just walking because he can. He's actually going to walk all the way back to Santiago, so he's doing the whole loop, unlike most people who either walk to Muxia or to Fisterra. So it was lovely to see him again and have a proper goodbye. Look at that beautiful blue sky. But more of a matter of interest for these, I thought they were something to do with people dying because they all had crosses on the top. But now I actually think they're for putting the corn in. Not quite sure why they have the crosses on the top, but they have little doors. And the way the bases are, it's almost to stop animals getting up into them. So I'll have to find out for sure. But that is what I'm thinking. Oh, now I've got to look for arrows because I don't know where the arrows are. Oh, how cute's that? So it's raining again, and look at this track. It's like the worst I've had. Oh my gosh, all that rain over the last few days. It's like blimey. And so it continues in the rain on my last day. And there's people with all sorts of setups. Yep, just an umbrella, that guy. So it is interesting seeing all the alternatives. Some people, they don't even walk with a coat, they just get wet. So yeah, but I love all this bracken. Really pretty in the mist. It has been cool all day. I mentioned it earlier that it was cool. And yeah, I've had my 2 light jumpers on and my poncho all day. Well, I'm coming back into the ocean. So I started at the ocean this morning and cut right across the peninsula. And here am I back on the ocean. And yeah, it's raining. Like, thankfully it hasn't rained all day. There's been some sunny spots. But yeah, apart from taking my poncho off at cafes, the poncho has been on all day. Well, I think this is the first sawmill I've seen. And I've just gone through a whole lot of pine plantations, which made a bit of a change from the eucalyptus trees. And yep, they're getting it all sorted down here. Still very short logs. Now, maybe that's just a requirement. There's a tractor there with a whole lot of pulp. So they would obviously be using that. So yeah, but they use some for timber as well. Well, not long to go now. There's the sign. You're under the water. Well, what a beautiful time of the day to arrive in Fisterra. It's just after 3 o'clock, so I'm thinking by the time I get to my hostel, it'll probably be 3:30. Yeah, and as you can see, the sun's out. How nice is that? Well, I'm on it's not really a cobblestone, but a stone path as I continue to make my way to the hostel. Yeah, it's still a little bit to go. A lot of change in surfaces, change in scenery. It always is nice to walk along the water. But yeah, I like everything. I like a mixture. I like the forestry, I like the farming areas, the little villages. It's all really nice. Well, I'm sort of relaxed. I thought, no, I wouldn't have a shower just at the moment, so hence still looking a bit messy, but don't have my pack on. Going for a little bit of a walk around Fisterra, and I think I can get another certificate, so I'm going to go and check that out. It's a lovely little town. It's really, really quiet. So yeah, you can see behind me here, no one around. And I hadn't booked a hostel. I'd been told the Pilgrims Hostel was a bit dodgy. So I booked into another one. I didn't book, I just rocked up and they had vacancies, so that was good. It was only €3 extra, so €13 a night. Oh my goodness, you can't go wrong, can you? So yeah, just going to go for a bit of a walk around, stretch the feet out a little, which is always nice at the end of a day. Well, I forgot to take a video when I got my certificates from completing the Portuguese Camino, and I will add a couple of pictures in, but I just got this one from Fisterra at no cost, and it's so pretty. Look at that. Yeah, that's my full name. I might actually smudge that out. I'm just having a little wander around the town on the seaside. There is a lighthouse, I think it is, or the Cape to go out and have a look at for sunset. Not sure that we're going to get much of a sunset tonight, but it'll be nice to do, just for a change, a bit of a walk. Showered, clean, hair washed, comfy shoes. Yeah, I actually felt great. It was a great walking day today, same distance as yesterday, and probably just as many hills. But I stopped more, and gosh, that made a difference. Well, the sky looks pretty nice already. It's not sunset yet, and I won't stay for sunset because that will mean walking back in the dark, which for nearly 3 kilometres I'm not prepared to do. But I was just speaking to the second German man that I got to know really well. He was the one who actually, one of the snorers. There was a South Korean man on one side and the German man on the other side snoring at Oliverio Roa, I think the hostel was. But yeah, it's nice that we can joke about it. So they've got some really cool mosaics here. This is probably my favourite, and I've taken some photos of the others, but let me just quickly zoom in on these other ones. Cool, aren't they? And it's been a really long time, or it feels like it, since I've listened to a busker. He's got a beautiful spot. Ah, there's a girl with a poncho like mine. There's some more of these. Oh, this one's cool. So here we are, right at the end, and I don't think it's going to be much of a sunset, unfortunately. There's a big lot of rain out there. So yeah, I think I'll head back down now. So I'm going to end this video here. So that's the end of my second Camino, the Muxia Fisterra Camino. And someone's just going to push their bike in front of me if I don't hurry up. So I better hurry up, and I'm going to show you the sign here. So that's my last shell, and there we go, kilometre 0. So how good's that? So thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe it's even inspired you to do a Camino. So until next time, bye for now, and thanks for watching.